The S&P E-minis. Looking like we're getting a decent rally there last night after the sell-off before close. Or was it after close? Yeah, we had a little bit of a sell-off after close, all the way down to 28.23. But then we're getting a V-shaped recovery, as your boy Donnie likes to say. Huge move up here last night. Almost what is it, 60 handles from the bottom? Almost 60 handles from the bottom. Looks like we're breaking out up here this morning. Right at open, we're breaking up to the top here. Gonna set my stops to look like 2.5. Setting my stops to, that'd be 2.8, I believe. So I'm gonna change my stops to 2.75, round down. We're not allowed to trade yet. New trading hours are 9:45 is when I can place my first trade. So we're just gonna sit here, wait around. 7.5. We will see what happens. It's relatively flat since about I guess 3 in the morning. A little bit of movement here and there, but relatively staying in this range, especially after like 6, I guess. Pretty much flat since 6 a.m. We'll see what happens. We're just waiting around until we're allowed to trade at 9:45. Just watching the markets. Could check the NASDAQ. Let's see. Add a chart. NQ. Might as well add one too. Add a new DOM. And we got the NQs over here. The NASDAQ. See what the NASDAQ's doing. NASDAQ pretty much the same thing. I mean, they're pretty correlated. The SP is the NASDAQ. Seems like the NASDAQ doesn't sell off as much as the S&Ps though. There's bigger drawdowns or bigger swing lows. At least lately in the S&Ps versus the NASDAQ. Wow, we're popping right back up there. Is this gonna push higher even? Push new highs of day? 81.50s looks like the new high of day. Is the high of day currently, I mean. See if it breaks out above there. Just waiting patiently until we're allowed to trade here. Alright, we might get a sell-off here since it couldn't break the high of day. I feel like we might get a sell-off here. Notifications, no notifications. Normally we would have gotten a signal to sell there, so normally we would have sold right there. The 2.5 stop loss, or 2.75, so if we got in right at here, we might have gotten stopped out already. Well, big rally. Looks like we're definitely still range bound. You see, soon it hits the bottom of this range, instant rally, hits the top of the range, instant sell-offs. See what happens this time around. Definitely would have gotten stopped out there. Oh, breaking new highs of day. Alright, that means that we would have taken this signal here to buy. We would have got stopped out here. Would have taken the signal to buy here. That was probably at 81.50, so our stops would have been at 80.25, I think. 88.25 or 78.25. This would be our stop right now. If we were trading. 7 more minutes till we're allowed to trade. It's 9:45. Let's watch the NASDAQ. What's the NASDAQ doing? NASDAQ selling off. NASDAQ selling off. The recovery wasn't quite as high. Ironic how I just said that the swing lows are bigger or smaller on the NASDAQ, but now they're bigger. NASDAQ's not recovering as well as the S&Ps here. Let's see here. We wouldn't have gotten stopped out yet. Technically, it's still a long signal. Can't quite enter yet. We got about 5 more minutes until we can trade here. I'm looking to get long since this signal is still valid. We haven't gotten stopped out at a theoretical stop loss level. 2 times ATR. Alright. Still got 5 more minutes. We would have gotten stopped out pretty soon. It's like 1 tick away. Yep, we would have got stopped out there. So technically, no trade is valid right now. Indicators. Let's add this on. Oi. Oi, oi, oi. Three more minutes so we're allowed to trade. We're very close to another breakout long here. Yep, we're getting a breakout long there. So that's another signal long. Have about 3 more minutes so we're allowed to trade here. Changing our stops to stop system 1. $1.4 times 2 would be what? 2.8? 2.8, 2.9. Let's change it to 3 just to have a wide stop. It was somewhat of a wide stop. Decent stop loss. Oh. 2 more minutes, so I'm allowed to trade. 2 minutes until we are in. We're in. Take a look at the longer time frame. This would still be a long signal on the 1600 here. Alright, we're almost allowed to trade again. Very close to being able to trade. Technically, we still have signal is still valid. Signal still valid. Count's not specified. Oh my god. Wait, we're gonna log out. Count is not specified. There we go. Well, good thing we didn't take that trade right there. We would have gotten stopped out right there. So, good thing we weren't locked in, I suppose. Just watching now. Technically in the 1600, this would still be a valid trade. I'm gonna try to stick to one or the other right now. Stick to the 512, I think. We're gonna stick to the 512. Not gonna change it. That is in the plan for today. We are sticking to one time frame. Staying consistent with it. Getting a new 20 breakout short. A new 20 period low here. Could get short here. I don't know. I'll let it break the 55 first. Let the 55 catch up. If we can break that, then I'll go short. Oh. I mean, if we get short right here, we can skew it because our stop would be super tiny stop. This trade was still valid. See if we break up here. Screaming at me to short right now for some reason. I'll wait for the breakout. Technically, we would have gotten stopped out right there if we had entered in right here or here. We are just waiting for a signal now for a breakout. It's looking like we're going to have to go short. We might get a short signal. It's leaning that way, but if it pops up, then who's to say it can't go up? We're just waiting for a signal, and then we will take it. Technically, I think on the longer time frame, this is still a long play. 1600. This is still a long play on the 1600. So take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, a very strong uptrend actually. Still a long play on the 1600. And that kind of takes precedence over anything happened in the 512, but we're just trading on the 512. So if we get a signal on the 512, we're trading the 512. We're trading the 512. We're trading the 512 until we can build up our account to trade the 1600. Alright, we're getting a long signal, or at least a 20 period breakout, 21 period breakout. Kind of cracked it there. We're kind of hovering on the upper half of the range that we're just at right at open. Volatility is super low right now, 1.12. Looks like it might be coiling up like a spring. This thing's gonna explode any second now. Up or down, we'll be ready. We'll be ready to join. Could possibly be up. 1600 is long. Still would be in a long trade if we're trading on the 1600 chart. Now we're getting a sell-off. If we break the new low, I'm gonna have to take the trade. But right now, currently just range bound right now. And our system does not do well on the range bound, but this could be the end of it. Gonna enter in there.
Order filled.
Getting an order fill at 78. One tick above the entry signal. It's always a good thing. Moving our stops to 80.75. Could get stopped out here. That wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Stop
Okay,
filled.
we're gonna get stopped out there on our first signal of the day. Gonna keep following the system. We're gonna get stopped out on our first trade there. It's tough taking trading range bound opens here, but we have to take every single signal because that could be the time it breaks out of the range bound, and if that's the time it breaks out of the range bound, then it could be a very big mover because it's been tightly bound in that range. Like you can see right here, last time it was range bound. Absolutely monstrous sell-off after. So we're gonna go ahead and take the next signal here. There's only so many times you can flip heads in a row before it changes to tails. But right now, still volatility super low. On the 1600 even, we are pretty sure we might have been stopped out on the larger time frame. Yeah, we would have just gotten, we would have, if we had taken that signal up here, we would have just gotten stopped out for an even bigger loss. Let's see how the Nasdaq's doing. Nasdaq not doing so hot either in terms of range bound or trending. Definitely still range bound right now. Alright, looks like we're breaking out of this tight little channel here. Maybe we'll get a long signal here up on the upside here. I'm ready to jump in if we get the signal. Are we going to break new highs of day? Alright, gonna
order filled.
Get long there. 84.25, get long there. Let's see if we can't keep pushing. Looks like we are breaking out of this range bound here. Let's see if we can't keep pushing up for new highs of day. Go, waiting for the 20 period moving average to catch up. Looking for this to trend up really high. Should start catching up soon. Alright, we're pushing up really decent now. Really super decent now. Alright, see, this is why we take every signal. Don't want to take risk off the table just yet. It's going to be painful. It's going to be painful, but we don't want to take risk off just quite yet. We're waiting for the 21 period low to catch up here, and then we will adjust our stops accordingly. But we have to wait for that to happen. Still down here right now. Our stops are 81.25. Let's see this baby move up. Let's see this baby rocket up. Our stops currently still at 81.25. Cannot take risk off just yet. I'm willing to be done for the day if this is a loser. This is a loser, we'll be done for the day. But we gotta wait for this 21 period low to catch up. We got to follow the system through and through. As long as we follow the system over time, we will prove to be profitable. But we have to follow the system. Cannot take profits early. Cannot take risk off the table. Adjusting our stops up slowly but surely. Got to wait for the next candle here. The 21 period lows are catching up very slowly. We have the 81.50 as our stop loss entry at 84.25. 425. Our stops are now, we are now reducing a lot of risk. Our stops are now 83. Currently only have $62.50 as our risk right now. Currently only $50 as our risk. We are currently just waiting for the 21 period low to catch up to at least break even on the trade. Then we can proceed to, even if this is a loser, we can still place another trade. Stops move up all the way up to 84 now. We are now currently only risking $12.50. So now this allows us to have more room to place another trade, even if this one is a loser. Now moved up to break even, actually.
Stop filled.
Alright, that was a break-even trade. Kind of shitty. Kind of shitty. But you're following the system. We took the trade there. If we get a breakout again, we will go long once again. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to stick to the 512. We're going to keep trading on the 512. Break even trade. That allows us to take another trade. So more sample size we have, better OBC. It's good that we got out there. Pretty much break even. Looks like it's continuing to sell off now. The breakout didn't last that long. We could have taken profits early, but it could have been a massive runner too. You never know. So yeah, I'm a top step trader. Why? Never know where it can go. Never know where it can go. How long did it take for me to get funded? Step 1 took me 7 days, I believe. Step 2 took me like 19 days to pass step 2, I believe. And then from step 2 to getting a funded account, I had to wait like 12 days while they processed the paperwork and the payments for the data exchange. Are you taking the combine now? So I guess it took about a month to pass the combine for me. A little bit slower than some other people, but what can you do, you know? Currently waiting for another signal here. So far we have one losing trade, one break-even trade. Not too bad. Could be worse. Could have been 2 losing trades. We have a tight stop now. We have a tight stop. Let's see. Since let's see here. We might get the 55 low soon. I bet you this is going to start catching up anytime now. We are waiting for a signal now. Could have taken that 21 signal, not gonna lie. But let us wait for the 55 breakout. Oh, we're selling off really quick now. Okay, I'm ready to jump in. Shorts. If we get a breakout here. Could have gotten short there. But no. We're going to wait for the 55 breakout. We're following the system. Yes, sir. Yeah, dude, strategy hopping is one of the most painful things you could do. You just gotta stick to one strategy over a lot of trades. But I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. I've traded like for a couple years before. Yeah, it could be a mental thing. We're about to get a signal here. Yeah, that's good, man. Do the free practice account until you have a working strategy that you know works over a lot of trades. And yeah, once you do that, then take the combine. So you save yourself a little bit of money there. I mean, the combine itself, I'm gonna take the signal there, see if we get filled.
Order filled.
Getting filled there. Let's see what happens here. See if we can get a further sell-off. Wherever stops at 81.50. Debating on whether I should move it down to 81.75. Where was it when we entered? Oh, okay, so it should be at here. That's where it stops at 81. Stops at 81. Taking some risk off the table. If this one's a loser, we're gonna stop for the day. Looks like we might get stopped out here. That's kind of sucks. Okay, I take it back. We are now hovering close to flat at around our entry point. Looking for this 21 period low or 21 period high to catch up so we can adjust our stops to that level. Alright, we're getting a push down. Hopefully this is a big sell-off. I mean, obviously, right? Hopefully we make money is the plan. Let's see what the NASDAQs are doing. NASDAQ is actually pretty flat still. Has not broke out of that range bound yet. I mean, neither did we. This is the new support level right here. You could see pretty clearly. We're definitely in a decent uptrend right now overall. But we could be breaking out of that now. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just following the price. Just following the price here. Alright, this is a sell-off. Oh, this is a nice sell-off right here. Gonna wait for this to catch up. Gonna keep some risk on the table still. Gotta wait for this candle to close. Alright, we're just gonna move our stops to break even once this candle closes. Very good. We're moving to break even. We're gonna wait for the 21 period low to catch up. This could be a big trend right now. We're breaking out of there. Broke out of that support. If this keeps dropping, we could be breaking out of this range bound system here. This uptrend too. Gonna move our things to break even here. I am just waiting right now for the 21 period low to catch up, and then we will be adjusting our stops from there. Getting short there. Waiting for the highs to catch up. Thank you, man. Thank you. Getting short there. Waiting for our highs to catch up. Gonna get short there. We are pretty much break even, so I mean we'll lose a couple bucks to commission if we get out of this trade, and there could be slippage. So we're looking at maximum like $20 loss here, which isn't that bad actually. So if we get out at break even, it'll be like I think $6 or something for the. It'll be like $6 for the commissions if we get out break even. Still waiting for this to catch up here. We'll adjust our stops to that level once it catches up to the break even point. Gotta give it some time. This could be a big runner. This could be a big runner. We're gonna stop after this trade, I believe. If we are green for the day, we will stop for the day. No need to get greedy. Still waiting for this to catch up. We're currently still break even right now. It's a little bit painful to watch our profits slip away, but we're just gonna keep following the system. It's not a bad point to take profits right now, but what's it called? I'm only trading one lot, so I really have to let these bad boys run. If I was trading 2 lots, that'd be a different story. We would have taken one profit and let one run right now. But this is not the case, so we just have to let it run. It's coming back up now. We'll give it some room to breathe. If we get out at break even, it's not that big of a deal. We still have room for another trade because it has moved to the break even point. So we still have room for one more loss in our system before we have to stop for the day. And if this one or the next one is a winner, we can just stop for the day because it'll probably be a big win. But right now we're just giving this some room to breathe. Just waiting for the 21 period low to catch up here so I can adjust my stops. We're just going to keep holding even though our profits are disappearing right before our eyes. It's not even that much of a big win. Right now it's like a small win if we were to take profits right now. It's not like March 23rd where there was a limit down every day. Volatility is a lot lower nowadays. So, alright, it looks like we are starting to catch up here. Going to wait for this to drop down some more. We have 2 flat candles, so we gotta wait for 2 more candles before this one will close. We gotta wait for this one to close, and then it'll probably drop to like right here, the signal, and then we could start to move to take profit level. Currently right here. Next candle, I bet it's gonna drop down here after it closes. There we go. Moving our. Now we are in take profit zone. So now worst case scenario, we make money. Worst case scenario, we make money. We have to wait about 20 more candles before we get a new lower high that we can adjust our stops to. So that'll be fine. We're just gonna let this trade breathe now. Nothing else we really need to do. We just need to let the system work itself out. If this keeps selling off and turns into a massive win, that'll be great. If not, not a big deal. You gotta take what you can get. You gotta take what you can get. Take what the market gives you. Oh shit, we're getting a huge sell-off now. Some momentum kicking in there. Just price, dude. I just watch price. If something makes a higher high, I will buy. If something makes a lower low, I will sell. That's all. All these lines are specific periods where price. So like I was talking about 21 period high or 21 period low. That's for 21 candles, that was the highest high, or for 21 candles, that's the lowest low, etc., etc. I use that as my stop loss. So I have the average true range here. It's like a 21 moving average of the average true range. That's my original stop loss. So like as soon as I enter a trade, that will be my stop loss, the average true range times 2. So I used the average true range times 2 as my stop loss originally, and then I hold it there until the 21 period high or low catches up to that point, and then I follow the highs or low, depending if I'm long or short. From there, You could really use any parameters. You just need a longer time frame and a smaller time frame. Enter in on the longer time frame breakout, and then use the lower time frame breakout as your exit. So in this scenario, my longer time frame breakout short, breakout low, break down. I sold short, and then I'm using the shorter time frame high as my exit. And then my original stop loss is the volatility of the price action times 2. So I have 2 deviations to have it some room to move. It's a pretty basic system. It's nothing too complicated. You're gonna experience if you copy my system or whatever. I don't really care, but if you use it, you're gonna have a high losing rate. So you're gonna have like 60-70% loss. But on the ones that you do win, it'll win really big because it'll trend kind of like this. So you'll take a bunch of small losses where it'll be like whatever, $100, $200 loss. It'll be $100, $200 loss, but you'll have a bunch of those, but then you'll have like $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 wins. So it'll completely make up for the bunch of losses that you're going to get. You just have to stay disciplined. Because if you don't follow the plan and then you start doing other stuff, then you just start losing. And it's really important that you take every signal. Because you never know when something's going to break out. You're just following the price. So if it breaks out, it could be a false breakout. A lot of the times it's going to be a false breakout. But as long as you follow the system, you'll be good. So we're pretty deep in the money right now. I'm about 2 ticks away from getting stopped out. Hopefully this keeps going, but if we get stopped out, it's actually not that bad. Give this some room to breathe.
Stop field.
Okay, we're gonna get stopped out there. Really good trade there. Really good trade. Locking in some profits there. Yeah, boy. I don't know if I want to keep trading. I think we should just call it there for the day. I think we should just call it there, take our profits, and run. See, let's just check out the bigger time frame. I just want to see that. Would it be possible to show me some sort of strategy? You made a 1,000 euros two days ago. Yesterday down 300. Now I'm down 500. You just got to keep your... I mean, most strategies will work. But you have to stick to it and manage your downside. That's the only thing you can control. You can't control the price, right? Like if you think about it pretty fundamentally, you can't control the price. You just can't. And so wait, hold on. On this longer time frame, I would have just entered in here on the longer time frame. Stop loss somewhere probably up here, and we would still be waiting for the 20 period to catch up. Yeah, so alright, so as I was saying, you can't really control the price, and you don't really need that many trades either. Like today, I only traded 3 times, so you really only need to trade like even just like once a day on the smallest size possible. You can make a lot of money from. So like when I was doing the combine, I passed the it was really just one win that made me. It was actually 2 wins. So I had a lot of losses and 2 wins made me back all the losses and let me pass the strategy, or pass the combine, or whatever you want to call it. You just really have to manage your downside and let your winners run. I mean, that's a classic saying, but like think of your trading as you just draw trend lines. That's not bad. It'll probably work. So if the trend line's up, buy, right, and then just hold on to it. Maybe like I would say, add an indicator that will help you for a stop loss. So like I like the average true range, but you could really use whatever. Some people use the 10 and 100 day moving average, or whatever time frame you're trading on, the 10 period SMA and the or EMA, and then the 100 period EMA. And if the 10 is above the 100, then you could stay long if it's an uptrend. But once it crosses over the 100, then you exit your trade. Or I use price channels. Average true range is what I use to when I initially enter the trade. But like right here, if you were to draw trend lines, right? What would this say? Can I get rid of my signals? Place this slightly outside of the trend line. Okay, 5 trades a day, that's not bad. Yeah, so I would try to keep it there or lower, in my opinion. That's personally like my personality when it comes to trading. I mean, some people are scalpers and they trade like 100 times a day, but so you're, what it sounds like is that you're a trend follower like me. That's my strategy. I follow trends. But what it sounds like is you just need to use volatility as your stop loss if you're a trend follower. Because, I mean, that's what I do. I'll tell you that's what I do. So you could use what I do. I just use the average true range indicator, right? And then you take whatever period you like. I personally like the 21 period or 20. That's really popular. So you take the 20 moving average of the average true range of the candles, and then what I do, a lot of people, they use anywhere from 1 to 5 as a multiplier for their stop loss. I personally use 2 as my entry stop loss. So when I enter a trade, I take the average true range. So if I'm going short, I add the average true range times 2 to my short position, and then that's my stop loss. If I go long, I take 2 average true ranges below my long position, and that is my initial stop loss. That's personally my strategy, but you do whatever works for you, man. Pat's trading videos. He breaks down the daily charts every day. Great way to learn the basics. I suppose so. I mean, I've never seen his videos, but there's a lot of people on YouTube that do really great work. But right now we're just waiting for another signal. I don't know if I'll take it since we already had a big winner for the day. But we're just waiting around right now, answering questions, I suppose. I like the Chat with Traders podcast. They really help me develop my system. I pretty much watched every single episode. And yeah, I just watched that. Can only trade on the phone. Dude, I used to trade on the phone too. I for like 2 years I traded on the phone. because I would be out and about all the time. I didn't trade on the computer all the time, but you definitely need a PC. It definitely helps a lot. I mean, it's possible to trade on the phone. You can make money trading on the phone. It's just a lot slower. I'm a super fan? What do you mean by that? Super fan of what? Oh, are you talking about Patrick Wheeland? That guy? Are you talking about Patrick Wheeland? I thought that was his actual, like what you were saying. Oh. I do watch Patrick Wheeland on YouTube too. I think he's pretty great, but he's more his strategy is like oh, okay, I gotcha. Patrick Wheeland is he does like he started off doing like more penny stock stuff, and now he's moved towards futures. But I liked his stuff early on. I watched a lot of his videos. Chat with traders, yeah, definitely a super fan because there's a lot of really good people that he brings on to the show, and they gave a lot of insight. Whether I mean, not everyone's strategy is really um, fits with everyone's personality, but there's a lot of little nuggets that you can get. Do you think a mentor is worth the money? It depends. It's hard to find a trustworthy mentor, especially if you're just going on social media, per se. I would say try to learn. Like, there's a lot of free resources out there, man. There's a lot of really good people that come on podcasts, like Chat with Traders, or there's some other ones too. There's a lot of good books that you could read. It'll just take time. I mean, a mentor can kind of shortcut whatever you're doing, but it's just hard, in my opinion, to find a someone trustworthy that has a good track record. Because most of the time, why would they share like their secrets or whatnot? So we're getting a long signal here. May or may not take it. Yeah. Thinking I'm gonna get long possibly. I'll get long here. 76. Looking super can't get filled. Or just our stops here. It's kind of skewed because I waited for a pullback there. Kind of got in pretty early. I mean, with a tight stop. We're in this trade with a tight stop right now. Hopefully we can get this trade to break even. If we lose this trade, we're done for the day. Absolutely done for the day. Absolutely. Honestly, I was thinking about being done after that last trade, so but we are getting the signal, and it is important to take every signal. I was just saying that, so we'll keep the stop loss there. Oh shit. Yo, good call out, that guy. Good call out. Did get the signal here. Waited for a pullback. If we got in here, we would have had no risk on the table because I could have moved my stop loss to in profit already. It's looking like a bullish dead cat bounce on the bigger chart. Could be, man. I'm just following the price. Could be whatever. Could be an ascending, descending V-shaped trapezoidal pattern. Could be a NASA taking off to the moon. I don't know, man. All that matters is price. You can't control price, but you can control how much you risk. But gonna wait for this to catch up. Would like to move my stop to break even. but I don't think that's enough. I think we have to keep some risk on the table for now. The purple line, my stop loss? No, the purple line is my entry. Purple line is my entry. Currently, this red... oh, wait, you can't even see it. My stop loss is pretty much like right here right now. This is my stop loss right now. I'm going to adjust it once this red line catches up to this point to give it more room to breathe. But this is my stop loss right here. Wherever the green line, or if I'm going long, wherever the green line is in relation to the blue arrow is my stop loss at entry. And then I adjust it once this red line catches up, basically. But the purple lines are my entry signals. I don't care if the candles are red or green. I just make it one color, so it's less bias. Personally, would like this to catch up. Not gonna lie. Giving this some room to breathe. This is a slow mover. It could be a fake false breakout, and we're gonna get a big sell-off. Could be anything. I could say whatever, but the price is gonna do what it's gonna do. But it looks like it is a false breakout because momentum's pretty slow. The tape isn't moving at all. But if it keeps moving, hey, more to us, right? Currently just waiting for something to happen. I could take profits right now because I wasn't even supposed to take the trade. It's supposed to be done. But I mean, we could let this baby ride. Not that big of a deal, right? It's really painful because it's so close to our entry point. So close to our stop loss. And it's taking forever for this to catch up. I really need this to break up right now. Break out on the upside. We need some momentum going. The slow movement's making me a little bit nervous here. It's like everyone's at lunch or something. Oh, can't quite break up, dude. It's gotta break up right now. There we go. Making one tick higher. We're getting there. Adjusting our stops accordingly now. There we go. Looking like we're making some money now. There we go. Yeah. Breakout of ascending wedges are usually always slow. Calm before the storm. Yeah, you're right. I mean, volatility is dropping a lot. You can see here. It's slowing down a lot. So that normally means it's like coiling up like a spring. If you like imagine a spring, this is like when it's open, it's already moved its whole way. But then when it comes down, it's coiling up for a big move. That normally is what happens when volatility contracts. So it's like prepping for a big move, but it could be either way. All that stuff I was saying before about the ascending descending shit, I was just making stuff up. All right, we can move our stops up to break even now. So no money on the table except for commissions. Gotta wait about like 10 more candles before this moves up, so we are in the take profit zone. So, that guy, do you what do you use for trading? Like, what's your strategy right now that you're on? I thought my screen was frozen there for a second. It's slowed down. Some profits. See here, we're currently 137 in the money right now, but that's not our take profit level. Take profit level is still a break even. All right, we're pushing up a little bit here. It's a grinder, dude. This one's a really grinder, a real grinder. Taking a Snapchat for the streaks, you know what I mean? Break and retest is my bread and butter strategy. Also love me some high ROI head and shoulders anytime they pop up. Not bad, man. By break and retest, are you talking about like support lines? So like if it once it passes through support line, support or resistance, it retests it, then you get short or long depending on if it's a up or down. Like you're basically hoping for a continuation, right? After the retest. Currently still at break even right now. All right, so now we're one tick in the money. One tick in the money, guys. Not bad. This one's a grinder. You can see how fast it fell here, slowly coming back up. Yeah. That's what I do too. I mean, that's like the fundamental of this, right? So it's like a breakout. Except I don't wait for the retest. I just go right straight for the breakout, which leads to probably the reason why I lose so much. So the Nasdaq is also recovering, so that's a good sign. Good thing I didn't trade the Nasdaq today. Holy shit, so flat. Every signal I would have taken would have got massive loss. This one was the only one that probably would have been profitable. So we're one tick in the money, looking like it's breaking out of this little channel here. We might get stopped out.
Stop filled.
Woo! Made $8 on that trade. Yeah, that was a. And the only reason we made $8 was because our entry point was on a dip instead of on the actual entry point. Oh yeah, sleep's super important. Low on patience. I get that, man. I used to revenge trade, over trade, everything. Just once you're used to it, it kind of comes to you. I don't think the market is going to move as much as it did right here. Not going to lie. If I had taken the signal here on this 20 period breakout, so my old system used to be to take every 20 period breakout. And you could see here, if I had taken the signal up here for a breakout on the 20, that would have been like almost double whatever this trade was. Like what, $300-$400? That would have been double that one, almost a K. And if I had taken it there, I would have just exited. What, right here, something like that. So I mean that one was a decent trade too. If I was following my old system, but I found that when it's range bound, I lose a lot more. So like if I was trading that system, like back here, nothing but losses, back and forth, like loss, 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 probably like 10 losses in a row. So I'm giving up some profit for less signals. The less signals I get, the better. So I added a longer time frame kind of signal there. I think we're gonna call it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully I see you guys tomorrow. I'll be live streaming tomorrow for Friday's trading session. But that'll be all. Thanks for watching.